Yeah, after clearing the Shiyu, the new Shiyu again for a second time, uh, I have a couple things to say, some pros, some cons. But more importantly, there is this one particular word that is like getting thrown out for the new Shiyu. And I'm pretty sure you guys can guess this word. This is kind of a problem when it comes to, the Zenless community and stuff like that. Like, this always gets thrown out. I'm not going to lie. But there's one particular word. I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is. It's basically skill issue. Now, the reason I'm bringing up that word is because, so there's a lot of talks about the new Shiyu, right? And there's a lot of people saying that, they don't really like it. And after playing it myself, I still have like some thoughts. I'm still not too crazy about it, but like what I can say is, yeah, obviously you can see there is a lot of hate for it, and all this hate like going towards it and stuff, and like how people don't like it. I'm simply seeing these replies. It's like we're not even having a good discussion. Some people are just simply just throwing out that word, oh, must be a skill issue. It's just like there is some people that aren't clearing it, yeah, but there's people that are clearing it and still saying they don't like it. And we're going to pull up a Twitter here that will show that in a bit. But the main point is, people don't like the new Shiyu, and then, throwing that term, oh, it must be a skill issue and why you don't like it, it's just brain dead, bro. It's like that. I'm not going to lie, that's just one problem. That's just, with some of the people in, the community. Like, there's an actual mode that didn't need to be changed, like, the old end game, like the old Shiyu defense. Nobody was asking for Shiyu to be changed. It was fine. Like, they basically changed Shiyu and made it into Deadly Assault 2.0. And that's what people don't like about it, because it requires more teams. I guess you could say they made it more in-game, but let's go ahead and get on into these posts right here. So we got a post right here from this person named Leunda. I don't know if I said the name right. Basically, they're saying this new Shiyu actually needs to be removed from the game. I'm not only going to pull up that post, I'm going to pull up more to let you know that people aren't liking this new Shiyu. We got another guy right here. He cleared it, but he says the new Shiyu is dog shit and I hate it. Put it back to where you got it. John ZZZ. Got another one. New Shiyu sucks, but I did it. GG's. Like, all these like comments and stuff like that, and all these like posts, like, you clearly see that people don't like the new Shiyu at all. And the defense for it on people just saying like, oh, it must be a skill issue, it just makes no sense. Because it's not even that, it's how the system is on itself. So the bad thing about this Shiyu is, for one, you can't switch your gears at all. Like, you can't switch your gears and swap them like how you can in like Deadly Assault, in like the older Shiyu and stuff like that. It's just like, not only can you not swap gears with characters, so it's just like locked, like, you also have to basically play different. But like, yeah, that's I don't know how they like got away with, like, allowing you to just not be able to change your gear. Like, I don't know what type of design that is, or idea that is, or who was cooking in there. They definitely weren't cooking. They burnt the hot pocket in the microwave. But the other thing on like how it makes you play different is the fact that, so after 40King all of these, because I just wanted to get a higher score, because I originally had like 39K in the middle tower, and then I had like 30, I think I had 38K in the bottom one, and then like 43K in the top or whatever. But I basically found out something new, obviously, and that something new was the fact that you want to dump your ultimates as early as you can to maximize points in that higher multiplier. And With that being the case, I'm seeing a lot of things on people saying how it just makes you feel like you're playing more brain dead and less optimal than you actually do, rather than like saving your stuns or saving your ults for the stun window and using them during like the stun window and like setting up your rotations and stuff like that. Now in the Shiyu, it just feels like you just literally just gotta spam your ultimates to maximize those points within like a certain time frame. I think it's like 1 minute or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you basically have to play different than how you normally would in this mode, and you have to like spam like your just spam your ultimates when you probably wouldn't want to do that like that, because that's just like I said, not how people normally play. And then let's bring up more of like the post right here. This is a follow up to the person saying, they didn't like the new Shiyu. This is from Linda. Said filtered skill issue. Your account isn't ready for in game. You can dislike something while still clearing it. And it shows right here that, they cleared the in game. They're basically quoting, filtered skill issue. Your account isn't ready for in game, showing that they can clear it, and they're saying the mode still sucks. This person's also saying the same thing, like what I'm arguing against is like the mode doesn't. People aren't saying it sucks because they have a skill issue. They're saying it sucks because it's just a bad design. It's a bad in-game design, and there was no need to change the original Shiyu. This guy says right here, I don't like how it forces you to use everything you have in the first minute or so. It goes against everything you learn about the combat. I think it should be scored based on things you do, like how fast you kill the enemies, dodges, parries, stuns, anomaly, etc. We got another person right here. They says, if it sucks, then why complete it? If you're not having fun, complete. Holy English. If you're not having... got stun locked by that grammar. So if you're not having fun, complete, then why do it? And this person replied saying the polychrome rewards is a lot, unfortunately. See, now that question is a little bit questionable, a little bit like stupid at the same time. The reason being is because like obviously they're naturally gonna do it because the rewards, regardless. But I mean, unless somebody genuinely doesn't like it, then they're probably just not gonna like care. But a lot of players are gonna do the end games and stuff like that, especially when it has a lot of resources. So it's just a no-brainer at that point. Here's another comment right here. This person says, sucks so bad with the damn multiplier system, forcing you to spend all your resources at the beginning for more points. What happened to the game teaching us to save our decibels for the stun cycle for the past year, and then creating this bullshit? So there's another thing. But this person replied and is saying we have anomalies and ruptures who ignore stun window. That's why. So got a somewhat of an argument right there. This person said I damn near scored a perfect 150,000, and I still think it's a bit much for rewards for your average player. It's stinky. And that's another thing too. Obviously, the average player is probably not going to have too much fun in this mode, and simply for the fact that it has like a lot of team requirements and stuff like that. And like I said, it's just like Deadly Assault. You know how people were struggling with Deadly Assault? Like if there were some people struggling with Deadly Assault and stuff like that, it's just like what I mentioned in my previous video. Somewhat of something that I mentioned in my previous video. If you guys haven't seen that, feel free to check that out. It'll be a link in the description. But basically I talked about in there like a problem with Deadly Assault. But basically you have multiple teams here, and there's probably some people that don't have so many teams for this, which is the problem. Like, and it's just creating another Deadly Assault for players with like a scoring system. Like, if you want my honest opinion, this could have been a whole new mode. They could have kept the new Shiyu, or no, they could have kept the old Shiyu is what I meant to say. And then they could have made this a new mode, maybe, for players to like do, like if they like want it, with like not too crazy of awards, but it could have been just like another mode or something on top of that. Like they didn't need to change the new Shiyu because like there was no problems with it. Nobody was complaining about old Shiyu. Nobody was saying it should change. This was just a sudden change out of nowhere. This is why people are complaining about this stuff, and it's not because of the skill issue reason that people try to throw out there. And like I said, that's like the problem with like some of the people in the community. They try to dodge a problem that's wrong with the game by saying skill issue. And it's just like that's you just completely ignore the fact that there is a bad in-game design, like where you have literally a thing where you can't switch your gears. Like you literally can't switch your artifacts or mindscapes or whatever you call them around on different teams like you can in Deadly Assault. Like you can't do that. And on top of that, you have to play different. You have to pop your ults early. You basically have to play how you normally wouldn't want to play, and then like push scores and stuff like that. Like this is why this is literally Deadly Assault Light. Like this is Deadly Assault 2.0. Like we really did not need this. If anything, to scratch the new game mode. Maybe that could still be a thing. But what if they just implemented this or did something with this similar to like Deadly Assault, like just did some stuff on Deadly Assault with this, because they might as well have done that, because this quite literally is just like Deadly Assault. This person also says craziest thing is there's literally not a single person who was complaining about Shiyu to warrant this change. I really just don't get it. And then they said that's so true. It's like that's exactly what I'm saying. Nobody wanted to. They didn't want this new Shiyu. Nobody was complaining about the old one. The old one was fine. Like you didn't need to change the old formula. And then it says scoring system is stupid. Not being able to share gear, high key pisses me off. And the other thing too that I forgot to mention is the fact that you got to get S ranks in all floors for the maximum rewards. That's another thing that some people don't like. Like it forces you to basically be able to have, I mean, if you have more like options and teams and stuff like that and more built characters, naturally people who are like, let's say like me, like a veteran or somebody who just has a bunch of characters, you're naturally probably not going to have too much of a problem with this mode. Like, and that's probably somewhat of a pro, because it gives you somewhere where you can use more teams. Yeah, like, but once again, Deadly Assault. But like I said, that's one problem that you can see a lot of players don't like. And then we got this guy's comment right here. We're gonna highlight this guy's comment. This guy right here, he says, "No, you just need to learn it because it plays very different from other modes." This dude said it literally rewards you for playing the game incorrectly. It's not a particular enthralling different is the issue. This person says, no, it's just garbage. And see, then you got the other people defending it. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with liking it. Like if you like it, it's fine. But what I'm saying is there's a problem with it, and there's a reason why a lot of people don't like it. And based off of what I explained. But yeah, if you like it, it's fine. Like, different strokes for different folks, but don't like go around defending how you like it just by simply saying, oh, you can't clear this, must be a skill issue. Oh, you need to learn this. Oh, you need to learn that. It's just like, just arguments like that, just where people are just trying to just say stuff like that or just be like skill issue. It just makes no sense, because like people aren't complaining in the sense of them like, having skill issues. Like most people are complaining at the fact that it's just a bad design. Like you can't switch gears, and the point system is like, you've got a point system. You might as well just have called it Deadly Assault, and you have to burn all of your ultimates at like the beginning, messing up your rotations, making you not play the way you originally would play. And then we've got this one comment right here. This dude says, I've got nothing to complain about. I'm enjoying it so far because it feels different. See, now that's another pro. Like, it does feel different. And I will say that for myself. Yes, it does feel different. Doing something different, you're playing something different. But then there's this other thing. He says, but I'm a veteran player, so it's expected. Same thing for me. And like I said, there's just like many teams that you need, and having a lot of teams as like a veteran player or something like that, I could see how, some people might like it even as a veteran player, like, because they have more characters on their account. But for someone who's like somewhat starting, obviously, yeah, you can say in game is not for newer players, but like, the old formula of Shiyu with the two teams probably helped people a lot. If you wanted to say, oh, they're not ready for in game or something like that, you could have just said Deadly Assault, because Deadly Assault literally is that. You need three teams in that as well. And yeah, that is the content that people struggle in the most. Like, that's the content that people need the most help with. They struggle in the most because they don't have multiple like built teams and stuff like that. Now with this new Shiyu, you have even more teams that you need. Like, you need more teams again for another mode, which it didn't used to be like that for Shiyu. People were probably struggling in Deadly Assault and stuff like that. And when I seen that they were adding more floors and this mode came out, yeah, I already knew people were probably gonna hate it and we're gonna struggle and stuff, just for the simple fact that it required multiple teams. Because we already know how many people probably struggle in Deadly Assault. Maybe they're just now getting their things built for it, and then you can argue maybe they can try to take the teams here, but like, there is a lot of elemental like requirements and stuff like that, and there's just a lot of teams that you're gonna need for this new Shiyu that I can see, just like you do for like Deadly Assault. And like, that's like one of the problems. But I'm gonna get into like the pros. I feel like I probably already said it, said some of them, but I guess you could say the pros for veteran players. Yeah, maybe they like this, but like I said, there's people that don't like it, even though they can clear it. Like, they've cleared it, they still don't like it. Same thing with Average Luck Gamer. He doesn't like it as well. I've said it before when I first did it. I've cleared it. I didn't really like it because they didn't need to change the old formula. I like the old formula, but the pro is there's, if you're a veteran, this is a pro for a veteran, I guess. If you have a lot of teams, then this will benefit you. But like, this kind of seems like a situation where it benefits veterans in Wales, really, and people who have more coverage on characters. But for people that are like average or somewhat like not like a veteran or something like that, or just don't have very many characters or just get very unlucky, yeah, they're probably going to be struggling in this. That's one of the cons. Like, they're going to be struggling in this because they don't have many characters. They're unlucky. Don't have like very many characters built. Resources in Zenless too. Like, the resources, you don't get very many resources in this, and that can be a topic for another video. But yeah, another con, you can't swap gears. We've talked about that. And then the scoring system is a little bit odd. You need to get S ranks in like all of the rooms. That's another con. And then like, on top of that, you got to play different from how you normally would play, and like waste your ultimates during the high score multipliers. It's another con. But yeah, I guess the pros, maybe it might be refreshing for some players, like I said. But all in all, it's not really the mode that people wanted. Nobody asked for it, and it was just a sudden change out of nowhere from like the older Shiyu, which is why people are complaining about it, which I can see those are like valid reasons. Like I was even confused myself as to why they like added this. That's just the reasonings on why people, don't like this new Shiyu, because the whole point system and like how it's like deadly assault, and then you can't swap your gears in it, and it requires like more teams and stuff and a lot more characters. I can see this was definitely a mode intended, not exactly for Yi Guang, but you can see it was intended for like having like multiple teams and more characters and more supports and like all this and that. Like naturally, people who have a lot of those are gonna be like probably. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe some people probably really are enjoying it. Like I said, if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. But for the people that dislike it and are providing like valid reasons why, you shouldn't just try to disregard them just by simply saying, "Oh, must be a skill issue." When in reality, that's not the problem. That's not the reasoning why they don't like it. They just don't like it because there was no need to change the old Shiyu and the point system, like how the point system is in here, and then like not being able to change your gears. There was just like there's just basically like no reason for this to be added. Like nobody asked for Shiyu to be changed. Nobody was complaining about Shiyu. If anything, people probably complain about deadly assault more. That's something you would expect to be changed. Like this could have been like an addition onto like deadly assault or something like that. Like I said, or a new mode. Like this didn't need to like completely change Shiyu, and then that's where all the, you know, that's basically why people are complaining about it. It was just a sudden change out of nowhere, and nobody really wanted. They didn't really want this. But that's basically all I wanted to say. Um, for that. Um, and if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to help out a smaller channel like me because it's free. And that'll be it.